Hi everyone, this is Rachel from StudioUs again with another at-home drawing tutorial. Today we're going to be working on a favorite among most of my students and doing this adorable Pikachu picture. So grab your supplies and we'll get started. So you'll need a piece of paper as always, a drawing pencil with an eraser, a Sharpie marker to go over your lines at the end, and a pink pearl eraser or any big eraser to clear off all those pencil lines. We're going to start with our drawing pencil. I'm going to find about the middle of my paper to help as a guide. And then I'm going to start marking out the top, bottom, and sides of that first shape we're doing, which is Pikachu's face. From there, this is a little bit of a tough shape because it kind of pinches in at the sides and then pops out. So I'm going to mark out the narrowest part on each side and then draw the parts popping out at the top and then coming out a little bit further at the bottom. And that's going to give him a nice, cute, cheeky face. Going a little longer than I expected, so I'll just clear off that dot. The tops are looking a little squared off, so I'm going to round those out a bit more, fine-tune my shape, and clear up any dots that I don't like. Same with the other side, just bringing it in a little bit at the top. So now that I've dotted out my shape, I can draw it all in. Even as I'm darkening up these lines and finalizing my shape, I'm careful not to push too hard with my pencil. That way I'll be able to erase anything later. So I'm going to mark out where I see that oval coming out of our head. Mark out the sides of my shape. And I kind of use the bottom of my paper as a guide for that, making sure there's enough space between the bottom of the paper and the bottom of that shape. So I'm going to go around, dot out my shape again. You'll notice I'm not drawing that inside shape where it goes in the head. I know that's just a guideline to help us get the oval, and we're going to erase it out, so I'm going to leave that part out for now. If you're more comfortable drawing that in, you totally can. Alright, so I've just got a couple little spots where the head connects into that body that we're going to erase. So I mark them out with a squiggle line and erase them completely. So we're going to add in the arms. I'm going to mark out where I see each of those lines connecting with the body. Sketch them in, paying attention to the angle that they come out of the body at. The one on the left is tipped a little lower than the one on the right. Again, I'm not going to draw in those inside lines. They're just a guide to help us get the shape, so we can leave them out if we need to. Go. Move on. We've got a little bit more erasing. And the lines connect to the arms, so I'm going to extend those lines into the body just a little bit and clear out just those connecting lines. I'm going to add in our feet. Again, I'm leaving the part out where it curves into the body. So I'm going to mark out where the ears start and end, keeping in mind the angle that they're going at. So the right one is a little more flat. The left one sticks up just a little bit more. I'm also looking at the length and how close it comes to the outside edge of that page. So again, marking out where it starts, ends, how far out it goes, keeping a close eye on the angle that it's coming out of the head, so how far it tips up. There we go. Little line cleanup, so I'm going to make that right ear a little bit more narrow. I was looking just a smidge too thick. I want them about the same size. Going to erase out a little gap where the ears connect to the head. Touch up my line so I make sure I can see right where it ends. Alright, we're going to add in our tail. So these are pairs of angled lines. Sketch in the base, looking at where it connects to the head. Sketch in the next section, going back the other way. And I notice it gets a little wider at the top, so I'm going to have those lines tipped just a little bit so that they spread out. Finally, adding a pair of angled lines up at the top and curving around to connect the top pieces. Adjust my angle so it's a little longer at the top, and we're good to go. Alright, so we're adding in the eyes and the cheeks. Notice that the eyes are closer together and the cheeks are a little bit bigger and right up on the edge of the face. So I'm going to start by drawing in the cheeks. That way I'll be able to keep track of how far in the eyes should go and make sure that they're closer together, still with a lot of space in between them. So what I'm doing here is measuring along the bottom of the first circle and the width of the circle to make sure the other cheek is about the same size. I can just use that by using the tip of my pencil and pinching on one side, carrying it over to the other. There we go. Now I'm going to take my time putting these eyes there, so I'm looking at how much space is between the circles and how much the circle of that eye overlaps the cheek. This one goes about halfway over, so it should line up right about with the middle of that cheek circle. It's a little smaller. Same thing with this one. I'm watching the space, making sure they're about the same height. Sketching in my eye. Making sure it overlaps with the cheek about halfway. That way we still have lots of space in between, but they're pushed in a little bit from the width of the cheeks. Alright, we're going to get those inner circles in the eyes. And they're off to the right just a little bit. So notice that they're kind of looking up, so they're closer to the top and closer to the right side, not dead center. Find the middle of our cheeks. We'll sketch in the first part of his mouth. So two curvy lines coming around to give him a cute little smile. From there, we're going to get the drop on his mouth so he looks like he's smiling at you. And this is just a long U shape. We'll also get the little details in his ears. And finally, we're going to add his nose. Little line for his tongue. And fingers. Careful to space these out evenly so they line up right with the sides of his hand. Little lines in the toes. And we'll get the other side. Same thing on this side, making sure I line it up evenly Goes all the way to the other side of the hand. There, we're going to erase the line that connects the fingers to the arm. Draw back in the line we want to keep. So we're going to go over that outside edge, touch up those fingers so that we know exactly where to put our Sharpie lines. There we go. All right, we're ready to grab our Sharpie and go over our lines. So take your time, be really careful. Trace over each line and make sure we're not going over anything that we don't want to keep, like the little gaps that we erased on his face. Make sure to get all your inside details too, like his eyes and cheeks and mouth. And we're good to go. So grab your eraser, clear off all the pencil lines underneath that Sharpie, and we'll get started coloring. So to start, we're going to take a blue, any color blue you want. You can do dark blue or light blue. I'm going for a kind of medium color here. And we're going to put a bubble around our Pikachu. And what this does is help us outline it. So we're going to fill that bubble in. Careful not to go inside the lines for our Pikachu. And make sure you go all the way around the outside before we start filling the rest of that background in. So once we've got our nice thick bubble filled in, we'll go around the outside edges and then fill in the rest of that background to get a nice blue. I like to pick one direction to wiggle my Sharpie in, my marker in. So this time I'm going side to side, that way I can fill everything in and it looks nice and even. If you can, it's good not to change directions while you're coloring stuff in with markers. So going side to side or up and down, whichever one works for you. Alright, next we'll grab a yellow. We're going to outline the inner edge on all the yellow parts on Pikachu and fill them in. So I'm working one piece at a time, filling in the tail, the ears, the face, and then we'll get the body and the feet. You can see I'm outlining all the little details inside his face before I go and fill it in. That just helps make it easier to stay right on my lines without having to worry about stopping while I'm coloring quickly. Alright, we'll grab a black, color in the insides of the eyes and the tips on the ears. From there we're going to take a raspberry and get the top of the mouth, and then a pink and get the inside, a red to get the cheeks, and a golden yellow to get the shadows on Pikachu to make him look nice and 3D. And once you've got that, you are all set with your super adorable Pikachu. Hope you had a great time, and we'll see you for the next one.